What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? I know everyone is having a legendary week. It's playoff week. Woo-wee. So we have Jason waiting out in the green room right now. We'll go ahead and bring him back in here in a moment. But before we get started, of course, we got to remind everybody to listen to the end of the show to get a special coupon code to save 10% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful Pair, exclusively available at ninerfaithfulradio.com/shop. Get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. Not only do you save 10%, but it really does help out the show. The link will be available in the description of a podcast and video or scrolling across your screen right now. Go to cgiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go to ninerfaithfulradio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. And, of course, follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job. Handle it on Facebook and Instagram and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, let's get this show cracking.
Montana steps up, throws.
I guess Jason dropped out. We'll get him back here real soon. Okay, here he goes.
Sorry, I tried to log in. I didn't know it was going to kick me out of the studio part.
Oh, God. What's cracking, bro? How's everything going? Okay, so we do got a comment from...
What's up, dog?
What's up, baby? How you doing? What's up, homie? Let's go now. Beat the Cry Girls. And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm letting everybody know now I will be on my boy Chris Diaz show probably Thursday. We're trying to work it out with my work schedule and everything like that. I'll let y'all know. We will be previewing Niner Cry Girls. Chris is a really good homie of mine that I worked with when we were at Radio AFS together. And so he messaged me and was like, "Hey, Niners Cry Girls, we gotta get together." And I was like, "Let's do it." So yeah, it's the week of the catch. Of course, we cannot do a Niners show without acknowledging what yesterday was, the 40th anniversary of the catch. Rest in peace, Dwight.
40 years, man. Wow.
I was talking to somebody. There was somebody who made a comment or something about made a post on it on Facebook and everything like that. And a bunch of people, I was there or whatever. I was at the last playoff game. Niners Cowboys. I was at the last. Oh yeah, 94, the 94 championship game.
That'd have been a good one.
What hell of a last game to go to, or playoff game to go to. So she was saying, man, I can't believe it's been 40 years, and I was like, I wasn't even alive, and I can't believe it's been 40 years.
I didn't realize it had been 40 years, and I was like, wait a minute, shit, I'm 42. Fuck, it's been long.
I know, right? It's like one of those things that you're like, or just like I was sitting there the other day when we went down to LA. Big shout out to 40 Winos for hosting us at the meet and greet. It was fun. We had a blast. Even my girl had a good time. And, we all know she ain't, the biggest Niner fan in the entire planet. And even my girl went ahead and enjoyed herself this weekend. But we actually are trying to go out there every year. We figured it out. It's literally the closest game we can go to. But anyway, enough about that stuff. So obviously we know the game. Niners make an epic comeback and everything like that. I wasn't gonna lie. I was getting. I don't want to say nervous, but it was not looking good.
The first half.
Yeah, the first half. I mean,
Anybody who says they weren't is lying. Let's be honest, because that team was they were getting trampled on in that first
it
half.
was like
There
we
was
had
nothing.
Oh, he
67
said,
yards or something like that.
I'm old, guys. LOL. I was at the game for the Dwight Clark catch. Oh, you were at the Dwight Clark game. You know, it's fun. I'm not saying I don't believe you, Beto, and everything like that. Of course, I believe you, brother. You know, you're a man of high integrity. But it's funny how Candlestick mysteriously started holding, hundreds of thousands of people over the last 40 years. A stadium that hold 70,000, mysteriously held 200 and something thousand that day. But yeah,
Yeah, before the half or before that 2 minute drill, nothing. There was no
nothing.
reason to be
I think
excited about a damn thing.
I think we were negative 5 yards offense or something totally ridiculous like that. It was as dead. And what was making me nervous is, it was just everything adding up. You saw that we were without Trent Williams. You saw Cooper Kupp was killing us without K1. And it was him and Matthew Stafford. It was just him, Higbee, and Cooper Kupp. It was just pitch and catch. He was just standing there. It was like
doing whatever they wanted to.
Yeah, it was like a scrimmage. And I had a feeling when we went out and we kicked the field goal to go into halftime, I thought to myself, I looked at my girl and I said, okay, the biggest drive of the season, is the next drive. I said, we come out, and I was a fan before Montana and Bill Walsh. Obviously I wasn't, having not been born yet, but my grandpa has been a fan since John Brody. So, yeah, but my grandpa's been a faithful for a while. But I had, it was just everything adding up. And so, most of the first half, I spent praying for Atlanta to come back. Honestly, if I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all right now, not that I didn't believe we could come back or whatever, especially after we kicked the field goal, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, we kicked the field goal, we get the ball back to start the second half. You could easily turn it into a one-score game, just like that. And lo and behold, that's what we did. And so, but really the first half was mostly praying that Atlanta somehow pulled a rabbit out of their ass and could save our asses, because it didn't look pretty.
And realizing they were getting beat up by the Saints at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a very, very, dude. Did I just really come out to all the way out to LA for this? Like, obviously, I wasn't at the game. My girlfriend and I were in the hotel watching the game, but that was the feeling, and we had all these plans for after the game, how we were going to go out in LA. We were going to go take pictures. What's up, Roberto? How you doing, baby? We were going to go out, and we were going to go out in the city and go take pictures by the Kobe, mural and all this stuff and everything. I'm like, am I going to really want to be out in a city I don't know, around a bunch of Yams fans and everything like that, after we just lost and our season's done. But
come on, man, if I can do it in Seattle all the time, you can.
Yeah, of course. I knew we'd be all right. But love you show, guys. You guys are awesome. Keep it going.
Thanks, brother.
Let's go Niners. Thank you, bro. We really appreciate it. But that the second half, I think what you saw is that we settled in. Colton McKivitz, I don't really remember Aaron Donald making any of his I'm Aaron Donald, I'm going to wreck your game plan plays.
He had a few where he looked kind of ugly. But for the most part, I'd give him B, C plus kind of thing. Like I said, there was a couple where he got beat pretty obviously, but for the most part, he handled everything. Exactly. With the Rams defense in general.
Yeah, their front ain't no joke. Yeah. Their front is not a joke. And so I think that apparently they were fueled by Kittle, because he had made a comment talking about it was going to be a body bag game, but he was talking about either team and everything like that.
Yeah,
and so
you got in his face with it.
I think what I would say about this game is I got the feelings for the Yams. I think they felt going up 7-0, or I'm going up 17-0. I think they forgot that it's like, there's 4 quarters in the game. I mean, I had shared the meme this morning on our Facebook page, or maybe it was Sunday night, that after Sean McVay went into the end zone, which, let's be real, should have got a penalty for, because they're not allowed to go on the field to play like that.
The ref actually looked at him and smiled.
Yeah.
If you watch that play again, he looked at him and smiled. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I thought, because at first, when I first saw the ref going like this and everything, I thought he was like, yeah, what the fuck? Calm down. Like, get your ass out of here. But yeah, after seeing the replay and everything like that, they were all buddy. And of course, the Niners naturally have denied. I'm sorry, bro. Somebody on that team had to notice that.
The refereeing team?
Yeah, the Sean McVay going into the end zone and everything.
It was completely. I mean, it was on TV. That's all they had on there. I mean, and they showed the replay about 90 times, and it's not like it was hidden. He was out there in the middle of everything up front, so you couldn't miss him.
I just kind of got a vibe that they felt the game was over. Took their foot off the gas, and to our credit, we took full advantage of that.
Let's be honest, because you blame them. Up until that point, we had.
No.
It's.
I would have personally, if we got stopped coming out of, got the ball there, or even kicked a field goal coming out of the third quarter, and they went down and scored a touchdown to make it 24-6. Yeah, I'm calling it. I'm pretty much saying it's ball game. After that and everything like that, and it was a lot of emotions, because it was a lot of, okay, when are we going to see Trey? Jimmy's thumbs obviously affecting him. A little bit of me personally taking a little bit of the bigger picture. If let's just say conservative Jimmy got to 75% this week, 80%. What is that saying about a Trey Lance that's around 100 when the better option is an 80% Jimmy Garoppolo? But I think what we saw today was why Jimmy's the starting quarterback. I think what you saw today Sunday was Jimmy Garoppolo's 9 or tenure in one game.
In a nutshell?
Yeah, it was a lot of inconsistent football in the first half, a lot of bad football, followed up by an emotional roller coaster of some what the fuck are you thinking, mixed with some how the hell did he just do that? That throw to Debo was that second. I want to get this out of the way though. That second pick, I don't blame on him. I don't blame him because he got rocked right before he threw that.
Yeah, then again, another penalty flag that should have been thrown.
You called.
Was that? No, I don't think it was Donald that got hit in the head. It was somebody else.
Wish.
But
yeah, because Jimmy immediately after he had thrown the ball, not even after he had thrown the pick, after he thrown the ball, you see him go to the ref, and you clearly read his mouth.
Going like this,
and he says like this. He goes, "I got hit in the fucking head," and you watch the replay. He did. I'm sorry, Arden Key against Atlanta, I believe that was.
Oh, yeah.
Arden Key against Atlanta is a roughing the passer. Then how the hell is that not a roughing the passer? He basically high-fived him in the dome. I mean, that's basically what he did. It looked like he was trying to high-five his dome. And I don't know how the hell that it's not an unnecessary roughing, targeting, whatever you want to call it, on Mitch Wisnowski. I don't know how the hell that's not a penalty. I mean, that's ridiculous, beyond ridiculous. And I remember thinking, I'm like, dude, are we really about to fucking lose this game because we lost our fucking punter? Like, if Kyle wasn't able to do the holding job he did. Well, how do I feel about the return of Dre Greenlaw? You know what? I don't know about Jason's opinion, but you know what? I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of faithful might not agree with me, but I think I'd rather have Aziz out there than Dre Greenlaw. I'm not, except for week 1, which you could argue was the only week he had healthy. I'm not impressed with Dre Greenlaw this year. I mean, mind you, he hasn't played much to be impressed, but
I think he was too hyped.
Yeah. I think that
those two big penalties, I think he was just he had too much going on in his brain, and he was just waiting, too much energy to release, and that's all it was.
But I mean, in a year,
yeah, but you could.
But in a year that we're gonna have to pay Debo, we're gonna have to pay Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa and Debo are both getting fat paydays this year. You're gonna have to make a decision on DJ Jones. You're gonna have to make a decision on Lincoln Tomlinson. You know, you're gonna have to make a decision on Jimmy Ward. You're gonna have to make these decisions.
I think some of those are easy decisions.
If you tell me I could have Dre Greenlaw or Jimmy Ward, I'll take Jimmy Ward. I'd re-sign Jimmy. Now, I understand that Dre does have, the years left on, I believe one more season after this year left on his contract, so he's not due a new contract yet, but these are the decisions that are going to have to happen here pretty damn quick. As, you start to see this team mature and the core of this football team start to get into their second most out of their rookie deals, i.e. Nick Bosa, i.e. Debo, i.e. Bam Bam this offseason, i.e. George Kittle the season after. We're going to have to start making these decisions, and this football team is going to start to slowly change. Obviously, we're going to keep who we want. Nick Bosa is going to be on this team pretty much until he decides he doesn't want to be. I don't see the Niners ever letting him go. Nick Bosa will basically have to say, hey, I want to go to San Diego and play with my brother. That's the only way the Nick Bosa's walking out of.
Nobody's going to afford both of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Sorry. Someone's
but fine. Whatever. Nick Bosa is going to have to choose to walk out of 49 by simply just not resigning. That's simply the only way Nick Bosa is walking out of this building. And at that point, you can't really blame John Lynch and maybe all your people who keep on Nick Bosa about his political views. And you know what? That might matter to somebody, if he feels that he's going to go and be. Anyway, but I like our linebacking core. And if you tell me that we can bring back the important pieces and still have Aziz and Dre Greenlaw and Bam Bam, obviously that's our best linebacking core, especially when I don't think K1's going to come back. So I'd rather have Dre Greenlaw. I'd rather have three backers. Anyway, that's a discussion for the offseason. Jason, not bury the lead any longer. We'll go ahead and go with your Kid of Corn offensive MVP of the week. And I hope you don't steal mine.
I think there's only one really obvious choice. I think the obvious choice is going to be Debo. I'm going with Jennings.
Oh, okay. Damn, you did steal mine because I want to say.
Let's be honest. Without Debo, this team is not in the playoffs at all.
Yeah.
You could just throw Debo in there, every week and no one can really say anything. But to me, the player that shot the most besides Debo was Jennings.
Yeah. No, I was. When he caught that tying touchdown, I was screaming at the TV, that's Kid of Corn MVP of the week type shit. I was so hyped for Juwan Jennings because anybody who watched the show this offseason knew there was a real concern about how we were going to replace KB for me. I was definitely concerned about how we were going to replace that production without knowing the season Debo was going to have. Now if you told me that Debo was going to have the season Debo was going to have, then of course I'm not worried about shit. But even how Brandon Ayuk's been stepping up recently, but I feel that
of course set up good for a long time.
Yeah, I think that we've replaced KB with Juwan Jennings. Obviously,
he's at least equal to him right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking like clutch touchdowns in the red zone. A little bit of case of the dropsies, and starting to develop a chemistry on third down with Jimmy. What does he do that KB doesn't do, or what does he not do that KB does? I can't see anything.
Right now, nothing.
Yeah.
And if you would have if you changed the nameplates on the back and told me that Jennings was born, I would say okay. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they're pretty much close to the same size, same play style,
Mhm.
everything.
Energy. I think
So I mean,
that's
I'm
a big part of what KB.
yeah,
A big part of what KB
a little
brought to
less
the team
dancing.
was his energy. The dancing. I wouldn't see Jawan as much of a dancer as KB, but definitely like an energy guy.
Well, yeah, but I
You
mean,
know,
he's not on TikTok constantly dancing and dancing on the side
yeah,
like KB. Like that was KB's thing to get
yeah.
everybody pumped
That
up.
was KB, but honestly, personally, I kind of rather have a dog as a football player than somebody dancing. But anybody who watches the show knows I love KB. I loved KB. I was pissed
Yeah,
when
I
we
still
lost.
follow him. I still cheer for him in the Pats.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still have his hat that we got and everything like that. If I sent some contact information to his business manager, and if his business manager ever reached out and said, "Hey, Kendrick wants to come on the show," of course I would have KB on the show. So if you're watching, KB, bro, come show NFR some love. Come on the show, brother. We
Come
we,
on,
we still love you out here.
and I
I
still
love.
I gotta follow all my Samoans.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
Oh, when you were asking about Jimmy earlier,
yeah,
I still think the best take I had on him was Jimmy is the best worst quarterback in the NFL.
yeah, yeah. I believe that. I'll believe that. He to me he reminds me of a lot of what my girlfriend's what she described her ex as, where it's like
Bipolar.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
what
bipolar.
he's
I
bipolar,
guess that's
motherfucker.
the way you can put it, but enough of an asshole that you think about leaving him, but then he does something that makes you think, and
Yeah,
I
but
said,
there's no The second half Jimmy wasn't It just second half Jimmy was I love you.
yeah, well, yeah,
You're
that's
the
what I'm saying.
man of
Like,
my dream.
no, I meant the end, like, well, maybe, he's not that bad. Some people are just a little rough around the edge, and I think that I saw it a meme this last week before the game that said, if Jimmy Garoppolo if the Trey Lance era, and of course, this is before we all knew he was going to start the Yams game and all that. They said, if this is truly the start of the Trey Lance era, and Jimmy Garoppolo has taken his last snap as Niner quarterback, I think that he deserves a lot of credit. And I think that a lot of people forget how dark it was in 2017 before Jimmy got here. How dark it was and how just lost and where are we going, and okay, or we're getting Kirk Cousins next offseason and everything, and then all of a sudden it hits us, my guys,
What
and
up,
Rich
Rich?
58. What's up, Rich? How you doing, baby? Good to see you. And then so
No, I
I
think with Jimmy,
so
whatever
go ahead,
happens
Jason.
to him, he's gonna come back later on in life. Say, he gets traded in the offseason, whatever. I think, like you were saying, with while he may not have been the player on the field we envisioned him to be,
No.
like you said, he brought a lot of hope back here that a lot of us that was missing. And so I think once he leaves and comes back,
And some time
10,
passes.
15, yeah, you get all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I think he'll be remembered warmly. And it's just because as hot as he started and everything like that and what expectations he brought,
Yeah.
it just hasn't panned out. But it doesn't mean he hasn't been bad. To this day, think I still think his injuries have impacted his growth as a quarterback
Yes.
more than anything else. And just people don't want to see that, and they automatically, oh, you're unfaithful, whatever.
No. I really
All
do
that
believe that.
BS together.
I mean, at some point in time, Jimmy hadn't played much.
Yeah.
I think that we all forget 2019 was the first year he started all 16 back then, all 16 games.
Yep.
So really, in theory, Jimmy Garoppolo has only played one full season of quarterback once. So he really hasn't played that much quarterback. The unfortunate thing about Jimmy Garoppolo is that having spent those years behind Tom Brady. And so the thing about it is that Jimmy's getting to the point where Larry Kruger, who I really respect his football, he does a 9-3 game for KNBR. let's be real. Larry Cougar is one of the reasons I started Niner Faithful Radio and realized I wanted to talk about the Niners for a living. So he always says that being a quarterback is a race where your mind catches up before your body gets beat to shit. Basically, yeah. I'm paraphrasing what he says. And so I think it's to the point where Jimmy's mind's probably catching up. And Jimmy could probably go to a board and break down defenses, all that type of shit with the best of them. The problem is now that his mind's catching up, well, you're almost 30 years old, bro. Your body's not what it was. And I think that's what you're saying, because to me, everybody says, I think the one word that's overplayed so much with Jimmy is injury prone. Because to me, injury prone is when you have a repeated issue. You keep on hurting. Well, no. I'm saying
not necessarily the same spot, but he's his whole body is injury prone though.
Whoa, and that's my thing is that when you break it down, okay, so he had an ACL, which fine, you could make an argument, go out of bounds, Jimmy. You could whatever. I'm sorry, I of course you would rather see him step out of bounds there. But to me, I felt that he was bringing us back, and I think that people forget, how Kansas City got the butthole pretty clinched in that game because it's closer than they thought it was going to be, and then he gets pile drived into the ground and messes up his ankle. Which, honestly, if you told me that, is it a coincidence that his calf is hurt in the same leg as his ankle? I don't think so. I don't think so. And so, yeah, that's what I think it is. And so I believe, especially if we go out and let's say we make the NFC Championship game. Obviously, Jimmy wins us the Super Bowl. That goes without saying. But if Jimmy takes us to the NFC Championship game this year and we lose by a field goal to Aaron Rodgers, right? And you just say, hey, that's a Hall of Fame quarterback we just lost to, whatever. Obviously, we both have our personal reasons that we would hate that. For different reasons, but let's say that happens, and then a lot of people I grew up with, you'd be surprised how many Wacker fans are in the Bay Area, but it's Jimmy takes us to the NFC Championship game, and he comes back here, and then let's just say they won't, but let's say they have a 10-year reunion for the 2019 team. Right? Like a 10-year reunion and everything like that. Does Jimmy get the biggest round of applause? No. Do I think that Jimmy gets a round of applause? Yeah, I do. I believe are there some bars that Jimmy Garoppolo after this year, 10 years from now, are there some bars that some people will buy him some drinks in? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty, just like there is for Cap. There's probably plenty of bars that Cap can walk into,
there's some people who are never going to get over anything. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I'll never get over the Super Bowl. But thanks, Rich. We appreciate the good luck in the playoffs. So I believe that Jimmy. I see why we're moving on, and let's not get mistaken. Am I happy that we got to move it? Am I happy now that knowing it's Trey Lance or Justin Fields, that it was a mobile quarterback and all that? Yeah. Okay. If you told me we packed Mac Jones, I'd rather have Jimmy.
Why?
Than a prospect.
I would take Mac Jones and his non-injuries over Jimmy. He's doing the exact same thing. You plug Jimmy in New England, it's the same thing. You plug Jim. Mac Jones is a younger, uninjured version of Jimmy Garoppolo. That's simple.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I was trying to say mostly is I like the different aspect because, like I was telling my assistant manager, and I think you'll agree with it, Jason, is even in the Arizona game, that wasn't really that great of a game. No. I saw plays, and even against Houston, you saw it where with Jimmy it's 2nd and 10, just simply because he throws the ball away, right? Jimmy, somebody's in Jimmy's face, he throws the ball away at 2nd and 10. With that play with Trey, that 2nd and 10 became a 2nd and 8, a 2nd and 7, just simply because he was able to gain 2-3 yards and step out of bounds. And that's what I like about the prospect of Trey Lance, because I think what we saw on Sunday, the ultimate thing I think we would say about the San Francisco 49ers, especially in the 2021 season, inconsistent. But that good football team, that team that going into this season we thought that was compete for the number 1 seed, that team's still there. You know, this is it. When we have our shit together, I don't think there's a team that we can't hang with. There's not a team in the NFL that we can hang with when we got our shit together. The ultimate problem this season is, okay, you could say the secondary. I would say that is legitimately a concern going into the playoffs. Let's not Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Dak Prescott, it could turn ugly.
There's a lot of good pass catchers on the Cowboys. And then Schultz, their tight end.
Yeah.
Schultz is
really
damn good.
This game could get in a shootout. And okay, we've seen, the Niners win a shootout and everything like that, but I promise you, that's not the formula Kyle Shanahan wants to play going into this game.
No, so he wants 2019 playoff Jimmy where he just does this.
Yeah, he does. He wants Jimmy to literally throw the ball 10 times, if that. And all those will basically just be the beginning of the game to respect the fact that we're going to pass. Just to give them a little something. But ideally, if we ran 60 plays and 50 of them were runs, Kyle Shanahan would not be complaining. So I think that's what we say. Okay. So beyond the secondary, which I will admit is a concern going into this football game, I'll be honest about that. My biggest is we beat our fucking selves. Let's be real. What is really, Jason, in your opinion, from when we got on the show at 2-4, 2-5 or 3-5, and we got on the show and what has changed? In your opinion, the only thing, in my opinion, that's changed is we stopped fucking beating ourselves.
Got healthy.
Okay, yeah. Got healthy and stopped beating ourselves. Thanks for reminding me. Before we go on, we don't want to bury the lead anymore. Diamador Lenore has been activated from the COVID list, and Trey Sermon has been activated from IR. So I haven't heard anything. Let me see.
I'm looking at it now. There's nothing there.
Yeah, Kiana just.
I have it up.
Yeah, nothing else. So, let me see. They said that potential returns. Okay, K1 is apparently expected to return. I believe that wasn't COVID or injury related. I believe he just didn't have simply enough time to get ready and wasn't ready to play after not practicing all week.
And Trent should do that.
I would expect. Let's be real. I expect Trent Williams, who I don't believe has ever been in the playoffs. Yeah, they were. They were because he was with RG3 when RG3 was a rookie.
Oh.
So Trent Williams has played in the playoffs. But the only reason I'm concerned is that it's not like last week wasn't like a playoff week. So if you're waiting to, I could play next week. Well, last week was just important, especially since if we didn't win last week, this week doesn't exist. But something tells me that, you're going to have to cut Trent Williams' arm off to have him not suit up in Dallas.
Yeah, he'll play. I'm not worried about him. I know he'll show up.
It
must have hurt. If Trent Williams isn't playing, it hurts.
Yeah, like that's some serious. Man, I don't want to feel that, bro. Like if Trent Williams is probably, honestly, the biggest human being I've seen in real life. Like probably legitly the biggest human being I've seen in my life. And having watched him play for the last 2 seasons and just see the things that he does to other grown men.
It's terrifying. Watch out workout videos of him.
That's a real dude, bro. That's a man. That's a man who ain't gonna cry over
a man.
That's a man. And so if Trent Williams is like, no, this shit hurts, I'm not wanting to feel what Trent Williams is feeling right now.
As bad as he probably felt, he was probably easily still a top 5 tackle, even hurt. One-handed, he could probably handle 95% of people.
Oh, he would have gone out there and shut shit down. So going on to my Kittle MVP of the week, obviously a lot of that Jimmy praises to say. I'm going to say Jimmy Garoppolo. Because it would have been real easy, and not just necessarily this game, this whole season. Because, let's start with the offseason. You're basically told, we don't want you. Okay? That's like a girl saying that she's going to dump you. Like, hey, when my man gets out of jail, I'm going to dump you. But why don't you stick around until he gets out of jail? And not a lot of people have the especially a professional athlete that, let's be real, has an ego, because all professional athletes have to have an ego. You have to believe that you're the best, or you won't make it. For shit, you probably won't even make it in college if you don't feel that you're the best, player on the field. And he's never bitched. He's never whined. He's never cried. And if anything, he took the attitude that we all hoped he would, which is, hey, this is my football team, and you're going to have to take it from me. I'm not going to give up my football team. You're going to have to tell me, hey, Jimmy, it's no longer your football team. And not everybody's going to have the attitude like that. You think Aaron Rodgers is going through this? Really? You think Aaron Rodgers is cool if the Whackers drafted Trey Lance? He threw a hissy fit when they drafted Jordan Love. Imagine if they drafted somebody with the 3rd overall pick. You think Aaron Rodgers isn't handling this shit. I've heard from people that, I trust in Boston, that fucking Tom Brady threw a hissy fit when the fucking Patriots drafted Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Brady
Jimmy was pushing him in practice, and that's the reason why Jimmy was traded. Brady thought he was going to lose his job.
I believe that. So Jimmy Garoppolo is my Kittle Corn MVP of the week because, he didn't have the world's greatest game. We all saw at times it looked ugly, but that's Jimmy Garoppolo. But he battled. It would have been very easy for him just to say, hey, you know what? This is the rookie's team. Like, you drafted this rookie to take my job. You know what? I'm hurt. You started him against Houston and everything like that. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Start the Trey Lance era. Good luck. You feel me? And he still did it. He fought, and Jimmy made it sound like it wasn't an easy week for him. That it wasn't a very comfortable week for him. And so to do that in a place that has essentially told you, we don't want you, and it wasn't like we already had the 3rd overall pick. We went and gave up a lot to get it. So that is a very clear, we don't want you, Jimmy, message. And so I have to give it to Jimmy Garoppolo, not only for leading us on that comeback, which was an epic comeback on the road, broken thumb with the chip bone in your throwing hand on the road with what Debo said was pumped in noise. Because I looked at, I know plenty of faithful that were down there, and I saw the TV, and they all said that they're like, look, there weren't really that many Yams fans.
Nope.
And I'm here to tell you, as somebody who also already knew this because of having known so many people from LA, and also being somebody who literally just came back last night from LA, the Lakers and the Dodgers run LA. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you this, that I had to search to find Yam shit. Not that I was looking to buy it or whatever like that, but I had to search for Yam shit. And the places I sold, there were a lot of it, i.e., it didn't look like they were selling a lot. I was tripping over Laker and Dodger stuff in LA. I don't think I saw one sticker, one flag. I mean, I saw a couple people maybe wearing a hat or a t-shirt or something like that, but nothing like. I saw way more people wearing Dodger hats and Lakers gear than I did.
LA's not a football town.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
Well, and I mean, it's what happens when you have probably, let's be real, 2-3 generations growing up without a football team. That's the NFL's biggest mistake. I don't understand how you literally move a football team out of the NFL, out of the country's second largest market next to, the second largest next to New York, into St. Louis, Missouri. I don't understand.
And then you overpopulate it by putting 2 teams in it.
Yeah, and now see that's the poor Chargers. Literally, I don't think I saw one Charger thing in LA. I literally don't.
And I like the Chargers. I like that franchise. I think, especially when they were in San Diego, I really have respect for that franchise.
I mean, I'll put it to you this way: I haven't met too many Charger fans in my life. Not too many, but the ones I know were really about that life. They really rocked with their football team, and so I think the Chargers are kind of like one of those fan bases like the Bengals. How many Bengal fans have you really ever met in your life? Not too many, but I bet you the ones that really are, like Browns fans. I've met one Brown fan my whole entire life, and it was actually at a Niners-Browns game. And no, my bad, two. I met 2 Browns fans my whole entire life, and you know what? They were both about that life. Okay, defensive MVP, I'm going to steal this from you, Jason, because you stole my freaking Jawan Jennings. I'm going to go Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas is my Bam Bam defensive MVP of the week. Big shout out to the rookie, because we were talking about in the preseason, we were talking about that if he wasn't a 3rd round pick, he wouldn't even be on this football team. Mm-hmm. And to come back and put together the couple weeks that he's put together, big prop. He talked about it in his presser after the game at how, he has put a lot of work into it, and, it's been a struggle and everything like that. And what's always been encouraging with me is not like he wasn't even in the screen. Like he was just getting blown past. It was just all a technique thing. He was misplaying the ball. He was there in position to make the play. Either the receiver, i.e. AJ Brown, just simply punked him for the ball, i.e. AJ Brown in Tennessee, or he was just getting out physical or whatever like that. And that's okay, because you can teach, technique. You can improve technique. You can't improve athleticism. You're either an athlete or you can improve on it, but either you're fast enough to be in the NFL or you're not. And he's proved that he has an athletic profile to play in the NFL. It's all about reps and up here now. And that's fine, because that will get better the more and more he plays. And I'm not going to say that we drafted a Richard Sherman type corner, but I would say that if you told me Emmanuel Mosley and Ambry Thomas were our starting cornerbacks next year, with Demo maybe in the slot, I'd be a little concerned with Demo in the slot. But I'd feel more confident going in to this season with Emmanuel Mosley and Ambry Thomas than I am with Josh Norman and insert whatever corner here.
Dante Johnson,
the Barnacle. Hey, big shout out to Dante. We give him, I don't want to say we give him shit, because it's all love and everything like that. And big props. The man's, stuck around for, it's got to be creeping up on pretty close. Yeah, he was in the same draft class as Jimmy Ward. So him and Jimmy Ward are. So you know what?
Doesn't go away for some reason. I don't dislike the guy. It's just he's not very good, but he's always there.
But it's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to Dante Johnson, if you're relying on Dante Johnson to play serious snaps, you're at the point where, like, it's not going to matter. There's nobody else available. Yeah. It's not like you're waiting for Richard Sherman to be on the street. Anyway, we're not going to. That's been a little bit of a sore subject for me all season, as I've watched PI after PI after PI after PI after PI. Anyway, but I want Dante Johnson on the team because I'm like, yeah, if we got to go to our sixth corner, because we got half our secondary on the COVID list, then fine. I'm okay with Dante Johnson if it's that point versus insert cornerback that was a UPS driver a week ago.
Well, Dante Johnson's a great practice squad type player.
Yeah.
Which you need to make your team better in general. So I like Dante Johnson in that aspect. I just don't like him as a starter on the field.
Yeah, no. You've got problems if you're – I'll put it to you this way. I'm praying K1 comes back because, as my boy Raul was quick to remind me, we're not playing any 4-12 teams. This is big boy football. And especially, let's be real, we're gonna be underdogs in every game off the GP that we're going into somebody else's house. Unless the Eagles somehow look, it's not gonna happen where we're gonna host the NFC Championship game. I don't see no way in hell that both us and the Eagles. Yeah, I don't see a way in hell that both us and the Eagles, the 6th and 7th seed, both make the conference championship game. That's not going to happen. Not with them having to go through Green Bay.
The Giants won the Super Bowl as a 6th seed twice, so
yeah, but they didn't host any home games.
No, but they still won the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah. I believe we could win the Super Bowl because honestly, I believe that. I mean, it's hard to say, because we are a 10-7 football team. But we're a lot more talented than a 10-7 football team. We just didn't play like it all year. There was times we played like a sub 500 football team. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
But that football team that's rattled off, I believe it's since Halloween, we're 8-3.
Yep.
Since Halloween.
Best team in the NFL.
Football team's always been there. It's not like we made that many significant changes to the team. And like we traded – there was no Emmanuel Sanders trade or anything like that this year. So I think ultimately we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up after this and let y'all get on with your evening. Jason, how do you think it ends? Do you think we host number 6? Hoist, I should say.
Talking about Super Bowl in general?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the obvious. I can't say I don't think we will. The chances aren't great, but you're definitely going to want to, you want them to say it's a long, tenuous road to go through everybody, especially if you got to go through Green Bay.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I would. There's two sides of it. Is it likely for the most part? No. Is the fan in me going to say hell yeah? Obviously.
Oh, I mean, I've always said, hey, let my team get in the tournament, and you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. If you told me that Tampa could get knocked off so we wouldn't have to go through Tampa and Green Bay, I'd say our road gets a lot easier.
I'd rather take on Tampa than Green Bay.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather take on Tampa than Green Bay, too.
We match up a hell of a lot better.
A lot better against let's be real. Tom Brady ain't ready for our pass rush.
Well, no, their offensive line is good. They've lost one of their best wide receivers, though. So,
well, yeah, that and I trust our pass rush to be fine. I respect her. I agree with you with your offensive line, but I believe in our defensive line to make enough plays that we could beat Tampa. Hey, you know what? Fine, your offensive line's good, but our defensive line's better. And we only need them to win a handful of snaps. We only need Nick Bosa to make 1 or 2 plays. And that could be the difference in the game. But I'll tell you, if the Niners make the NFC Championship game, the NFL wants it to be Brady versus Garoppolo.
Oh yeah, but that's second round. I think that would be the second round.
Yeah. If we were the lowest, whoever's the remaining lowest seed.
Yeah.
So if Philadelphia wins, then if Philadelphia is playing, I apologize, y'all. I actually haven't looked at any of the other.
No, we would go to Green Bay, so it wouldn't be second round. So
yeah. So unless Philly knocks off the Yams, we're going to Green Bay. because
No,
then it would be
it's the Rams and the Cardinals.
It is.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tampa Bay's playing the
my bad.
Eagles.
I haven't refreshed this since last week. My bad. You're right.
And don't forget, we have a game on Monday night too now this year.
Yeah, that when I saw the way that the schedule was
I don't like the Monday night game. I really don't. I don't think it's fair. Those two teams have one less day to play on, and I know everybody's like, "Well, they're used to it, Monday night games." I'm like, nah, it's the playoffs, man. Make everything even for everybody. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's some fluke shit. I don't like that either. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so it would have to be the NFC Championship game.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, it would have to be the NFC Championship game that we would play Tampa Bay. Yeah, so we win, we're automatically going to Green Bay, unless. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run one last break. Come out and give y'all our final thoughts, and go ahead and get up out of here. For those watching on Facebook and YouTube, y'all will still be able to hear us. So you know what this isn't my laptop. I was gonna say let's go through our early season predictions. I know I was wrong on a lot of my predictions. I had us going 13-4. I know that.
I think I had 11-5.
Yeah, it would be 11-6.
Or 11-6.
Yeah. I was not even anywhere close. I remember being real arrogant in our season preview. I'm being real arrogant and saying I'm picking 13-4, but I struggle to think 4 football teams that will beat us this year. Ooh, man.
Well,
but I mean I did not see us getting swept by Arizona.
Well, people were giving me shit because I said 11-6. They're like, oh, you're not a real fan. You think they're gonna lose 6 games? I'm like I want to be real. Like, part of me cannot wait until the offseason because I am so sick of this fan base right now. This whole Jimmy and Trey, and if you like one or the other, you're a fake fan. Honestly, I can't wait for the offseason so I don't have to listen to these jackasses for a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually turned me off a little bit how bad this fan base has been this season with everything.
I'm always torn because to me personally, I always tell people this. I said, the technology we have nowadays has made it where people like you and I who aren't professionals, who didn't go to school for this or anything, can put together a radio show essentially. You know what I'm saying? And that's awesome. Like, Niner Faithful Radio exists because of this technology. But the problem is that means everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody is meant to have a radio show. Not everybody is meant to give opinions about shit. Maybe even me. I don't know. I could be one of those people. I'm just.
Well, we've disagreed, and I don't think any less of you, and I'm not going to call you a fake.
What I'm saying
that's the shit I can't say.
Everybody is not meant to give an opinion, and that's what I'm excited about, is to be able to turn it off a little bit. And to me, the thing that makes me off of that fake fan shit that always pisses me off the most is if you're on Facebook or Twitter or Discord or whatever and taking the time and effort to get into the discussion with somebody about a football team, especially things that you have absolutely zero control over, that obviously shows you have a certain amount of passion. Does it mean you're the biggest fan in the world? Probably not necessarily, but I've always hated the fact that just because you're a fan, you can't be critical of the team. I tell people all the time, I love that meme that's that old man holding the umbrella over whatever team's logo.
Yeah. I'm mad as fuck, but I still love you.
And I share the fuck out of that meme each time, and I always say the same thing every time I share it. The fact that I get as pissed as I do shows that I care. Because y'all have seen me after losses. Y'all have seen me on this show get fired up to the point where people have been like, Brett, calm down. Well, you don't get that fired up. You don't talk week after week after week after week after week about the same shit over and over and over again for 3 months. Literally sit there begging for the football season to come so you can have something besides quarterbacks to talk about. You don't do that unless you have some type of passion about the team. I had somebody come and say that you didn't believe because I said that we weren't playing championship caliber football earlier in the year. We weren't. I have to be honest because that's the difference. What separates me as a fan from an analyst. If I was a fan, oh no, we're perfect. We're perfect. No, you're a fan. As a fanalist, I have to give an honest opinion, or nobody's going to want to listen to the show. Nobody wants to listen to a fanboy. And so, no, at the beginning of the year, we were not playing championship caliber football.
Nope.
We were playing garbage football.
But
it doesn't make me less of a fan to say that. I love my football team. Hence the reason when I was talking about that, I was getting pissed. There was reasons that my manager knew. My manager, every time she sees me, she said, "Hey, Terrence, how's it going?" And I usually say legendary. And when I say fucking horrible, she'll be like, "Oh, Niners?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And she already knows. Oh, I just leave them alone. She just knows. Like I told her, like the first time she tried to talk to me, I said, "Look, boss, there's nothing you can tell me. There's nothing that can I'm just going to be in a fucking shitty mood all day. And there's nothing anybody can do to make me better. It's going to be what it is. I'm going to be in a rude mood. I'm going to fucking not be the greatest to the customers. I'm going to be like, hey, how's it going?" Like, I'm not really going to be trying to carry on conversations and smile. So y'all just going to either send me home or fucking deal with it. And she said, okay, now we know. So they know, like, this week, she like, Monday, she's going to know if Niners fucking, especially the Cry Girls. Yeah, you know what? I would not be surprised if I look at my schedule on Thursday and I'm not even working Monday. I've mysteriously had quite a few Mondays off this year. And I think there's a reason for that. All right, I think we're off of the Twitch commercial. Let me see. Oh yeah, we got 20 seconds. And then we'll go ahead and we'll give our final thoughts. And then get out of here. Let me see.
Yeah, I gotta get to bed.
Yeah, I know. You got to get to bed. I got me and the girlie are going to go to the Sharks game tonight. A customer at her work.
Release the Kraken. Fuck the Sharks.
Yeah, okay.
I was supposed to go to that game next Thursday for my birthday.
Yeah.
And then with COVID and everything else, it's like, fuck, I can't even go to it now.
Yeah, no, we were a couple of our roommates caught COVID, and my girl's mom caught COVID.
Yeah.
And
but yeah,
we were getting real nervous about being able to go to LA because that was my girl's Christmas present was going to Disneyland. And so we were for a little bit, like we had been planning what we found out we were going to Disneyland Thanksgiving afternoon. So we literally been waiting for this all throughout and that was just kind of how she works in the shipping industry. I work in the grocery industry. Those are some of the two busiest industries during the holidays. And so that was literally how we got through the holidays was, hey, LA, Disneyland, like, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And then about a week before, maybe more, maybe less, COVID started to creep through our house. And we're like, are we really about to miss this fucking trip? Yep. All right. Last thoughts on the game, Jason, before we get up out of here.
For the Cowboys one or for the Rams one? I'm sorry?
For the Yams one.
Second half or first half was dismal. Second half was awesome. We need the second half 49ers to win and go forward in the playoffs. That's simple. Yes.
That first half,
we're not going to get that bullshit. We're not going to get another chance like that to come back in the playoffs against some of the better teams.
No. We, especially considering that we're going to be playing the top echelon teams in the NFL in their place, i.e., starting with the Cry Girls this year, who I honestly think we match up with pretty well. I think I want to respect the Cry Girls because their record is their record, but being in the NFC East
teams with winning records.
Yeah, being in the NFC, they've feasted a lot on a weak division. Yep. I think they're going to find out pretty damn fast. Hey, we ate the Eagles. You feel me? They're going to find out pretty damn quick that we ate the Eagles. And I'm sorry, but I'm here to attest that even with the Seahawks having the season they did, NFC West still the best division in football.
Yeah. You put Russell Wilson not missing those 4 weeks. It's a totally
Yeah.
different business.
Oh, they have a completely different season if they don't miss those 4. He doesn't miss those 4 weeks. Yeah, they have a completely different season. And let's be real, we probably don't make the playoffs having them being swept us, but it still would have been very possible that all 4 teams would have made the playoffs. It would not surprise me if next year it's the same. Although Arizona tried their damnedest not to make the playoffs. They were trying very hard not to make the playoffs. And you know what? They might be very happy that they swept us because that might be very well the only reason that they did was those 2 wins against us. All right, y'all. I'll go ahead and I'll be letting everybody know what's going on for Thursday. If I'm going to be on Chris's show, we'll try to get together on Friday to give y'all a preview for Super Duper Moderator Kim, I almost said Jamie again. Brian and Jason and myself, we'd like to thank y'all for tuning into this week's show and remind you to get your officially licensed Niner gear by using our affiliate link. You save 10% and help out the show. The link will be available in the description of this podcast or video. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can find the show. Follow us on social media. Jason does a bang-up job. Hey, bro, 40 Waters was loving your fucking Instagram posts. Like,
I know, I saw it.
Yeah, hey, shit was – Jason had fucking Facebook on fire today with some of his memes. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Thanks for tuning in to the end of the show. As promised, this week's promo code for 10% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful apparel is Cry Girl Hater. That is 3 separate words: cry, then girl, then hater. 10% excludes any on-sale items. Code expires midnight, January 17th, or midnight the day after the game. Thank y'all for tuning in. Till next time, faith, love, and happiness. Go night.
Steps up, throws.